What's going on, and welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. This is your SGF post-game breakdown. I am joined with Connor and Brady. Boys, we just saw SGF 2 hours of games. I'm going to kick it to Connor first. Connor, how are we feeling and what we rated on the Co-op 64 scale?
I would give Summer Game Fest. What is it called? Is it just called?
It's Summer Game Fest now.
It's just called Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, it's just called Summer Game Fest.
I would give Summer Game Fest a 3 out of 10. I thought that was pretty bad, but that was what we kind of expected.
Yeah.
It was just really disappointing that if the big 2K game was something else, I think that would have changed the entire perspective. I think in a lot of ways, I think that would have bumped it up to a 5. If it was Borderlands, Mafia, or a BioShock, just one big announcement of something really exciting, I think that would have been awesome. But 3 out of 10 is pretty spot on. I think that was pretty bad. But it's another one of those situations where, like, even with my expectations in check, I was still disappointed.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a fair take. Brady, how you feeling? Co-op 64 scale, 2 hours of games. What's up?
I mean, it wasn't. It was pretty bad. It wasn't. I don't know if I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. I'd probably go 4 out of 10. There were still some high notes. It was very disappointing. There wasn't like anything crazy new, like you said. Just a lot of the same old, and then a lot of filler.
A lot of filler
that just like looked like the same stuff. It's like I just saw this game, or like 2 games ago, and you're just showing me the same thing. So not a lot to be excited about, but it was fine. I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
As someone that watched all of the 2021, I believe it was, showcase, that was a 1 out of 10 for me. Like, that was the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life. The Last of Us year, especially with the leaks and everything. So I know how bad one of these showcases truly can get. Mm-hmm. But this was indeed bad. I would give it a 3.5 out of 10, right between both you guys. I think that this is the definition of why are we doing this? Like, and the main reasoning I feel is this is just a complete filler year. Jeff has to go and put something on stage. So next year, when there's a bunch of bangers, he can have a crazy ass stage show because he has the partners, because he delivers the goods when he has the stuff. But that's just not where the industry's at right now.
Exactly.
And so we have a year full of like, all right, do we really need a 2026 trailer at the end of this just as a throwaway get hype moment? No, let's go and dial in a cool-ass Phantom Blade Zero gameplay trailer. Do we need Monster Hunter Wilds to get a release date? Probably not, because it seems like it's going to be later in the year in 2025. So I think that there's some exciting reveals here, but do I think that they came in with the gas that Jeff has done before? Hell no. Does this get me excited for Gamescom? A little bit. And then does this get me really excited for what actually is Jeff's main bread and butter at this point, which is the Game Awards? 1000%. I think the Game Awards this year is going to be unfucking believable. Right. A lot of release dates, a lot of great gameplay trailers, because 2024, we know what it is now. Other than whatever Xbox is delivering, which I assume is just Avowed and Indie at most for their showcase, we know what this year is. And this year is, for a lack of a better term, I know that we've had some unbelievable games. And Metaphor ReFantasio, are you kidding me? It's going to be fucking awesome later this year. And there's a bunch of other games I'm excited about. This is a mid-filler year. This is just a skip of hey, we're not going to have any crazy bangers besides what we've already gotten earlier in the year with what I believe Rebirth being like the game of the year and everything. And then chances of hype with things like Black Myth Wukong when that releases, and then Astros.
When did they put a date on Phantom Blade there or no?
No date.
Okay.
Didn't see a date. There was like a bunch of play testing after. So like all the way, I thought it ran through like October or December. Can somebody get that for me when it ran down till? Because I feel like this game is 2025.
It's 100% 2025.
Yeah.
I think if they didn't announce a release date here, it's 2025.
I hope it's good. I hope it's not another like Rise of the Ronin where it looks like super badass and it's kind of just like mid.
I think it's easier to fall. I can see that falling way easier into the Stellar Blade category than the Rise of the Ronin category.
Right. Yeah, I think that the combat was super interesting. We're going to break down the major games. We're not going to go into every single game. If this was a well-paced showcase, we might. Fuck that. Not a chance that we go in. Like we all just said, bad to like at best, I don't know what 4 out of 10 on our scale is, but it's not good.
Not great.
It's not good. So this was a bummer to some regard, but rolling into it, we all knew it was gonna be a bummer. Like,
yeah, I mean, like a lot of stuff got leaked, and a lot of stuff that might have been a little bit more exciting got taken away from us. But with that in mind, it's still like the highs weren't that high, even with that in mind. And before we get into this, I do want to say for anybody listening to the podcast this week, this is your Monday podcast currently. We will do what we can for Xbox, depending on how that all works. We will be reacting to that by the time you see this. Well, actually, it'll be posted here soon. But you're not getting a podcast on Monday. This is your podcast for Monday, and then maybe more for Xbox coming as well.
Then,
we will see.
And then
but I just wanted to
obviously
make
we're
that
playing
clear.
games on Saturday, and depending on embargoes and shit like that, and Sunday we'll try to you'll get more content on this feed. It's just gonna be jumbled up more so than Monday, and that's just part of what SGF presents every year. Anyways, do we want to go and hop into the game by game, or do we want to talk any more impressions?
Let's go game by game.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I don't even need to pull out my phone. They did come out swinging to some regard. That Sony logo pops up. It is Lego Horizon.
Yep.
And as someone that is not the biggest Horizon fan, Connor, how did you feel about it?
I thought it looked good. I wasn't exactly blown away by like the direction and like the goofiness of it. I know that Lego games generally are pretty goofy and have that patented comedy. Like they have a very distinct type of comedy in these Lego games nowadays. But even with that in mind, like I don't know if it's something that I'm really drawn to. I'm excited to hear what other people feel about it, and then maybe that'll drag me in and be more excited about it. But for now, I'm just like, sure, yeah, that looks good. Like I'm excited for the people who are excited about it. It's one of those situations where like I think it is a win for PlayStation to have this game. So this year for PlayStation feels like they are diversifying their portfolio. You aren't just having your third person over the shoulder dad simulator like with your Last of Us and God of War. We have Astrobot and we have a Lego game. Like that's you're getting a new audience in with the more child friendly audience and bringing up the next generation of PlayStation gamers, which I think is important for them to do. Like from a business sense, that's really cool. And I'm more excited for Astrobot than I am for Horizon, but I think it's just cool to see PlayStation doing something different. So.
I mean, you also forgot about Concord too, which I think is, like you said, diversifying the entire portfolio.
Yeah.
Let's get shooters in there. PlayStation hasn't had a goddamn shooter in so long. Now we have a Lego game alongside a platformer. Like, this is a weird year, and a lot of people all the time, and I mentioned this during our live reaction, are like, we need different shit. I want new original shit. This is original shit. This is a bunch of different type of ideas, utilizing some of the IP that we know and love, creating new IP, and obviously it needs to be good. That's what actually fucking matters. It's good gameplay or good stories or the merging of those two things. But I really think that this is original and exciting to some regard. Brady, Lego, Horizon, how do you feel about it as someone that's not hugely into Horizon?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game will do good by default. I mean, it's like Lego and Horizon, and that's just going to bring people because of that. There was max amount of goofing with this release trailer. It was, dude, that hot dog dude was just all
so
over
many
the
hot
place.
dogs,
So much hot
man.
dog dude. I wish. It seems like it's only co-op, like 2-player. I wish it was up to 4 players. I don't know if that's confirmed, but it really seemed like it was only up to 2 players. If it was 4, that would be a little more intriguing. But
They said 2, Nick. I'm positive.
Yeah.
They were leaning really into that, and I just don't. I think that kind of takes away from it. I think we would be more intrigued if it was up to 4, but I think it'll do great. I probably won't play it.
Great to see it coming to Switch. I think that's really cool.
Oh,
that Sony is finding new ways to release day and date on other platforms to get new people into PlayStation. I think this is the first single player first party IP to release
Elsewhere.
Other
than PC.
Like at least in the modern era. Like no, well PC like it's all been live service co-op games.
Oh yeah.
There's never
But
been a single player one. This is a big test for them. Like they've been talking about this for a long time.
Ghost of Tsushima?
No, that came out
way later.
4 years later.
Oh, right. I guess.
Yeah.
Not day and date is the
Day
big
and
thing.
date. Like
okay.
day one it's gonna come out. Did they say PC for this as well?
PC too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
PC,
Yeah,
Switch, and like I think
everything,
this is going to be a really interesting experiment for PlayStation because they've said over and over again they're excited about the potential of PC and other platforms and utilizing that, and we'll see how much this hurts their potential sales on PlayStation, and maybe it'll push people to buy PlayStations, which is pretty cool.
I
in the long run.
I think starting like with bringing a game to Switch from PlayStation, like on the day of, this is the perfect game to start with.
Completely agree.
And it's not a direct competitor to them. Like I know that it technically is all gaming companies are competitors to PlayStation, but like Xbox is there. Like I don't think there's many people who have Switches and don't have PlayStations and would never buy a PlayStation probably, but this will give them a chance to play a PlayStation game and then maybe be like, oh, yeah, sure, I want to check out more Horizon. Let me go buy a PlayStation or play it on PC or whatever. So
Horizon's rated T, right?
yes, it's one of their most family-friendly franchises for sure.
If you're talking about their biggest IP, it is their largest IP that is family-friendly.
Right.
There's not a one that's remotely close to the teetering the line of like letting someone in their adolescence play. I think that this is brilliant. I do want to mention it. The amount of leaks that came out before this, if this was not leaked at all, I think that it is a much more, I don't know if it's a way better announcement, but it's a lot more shocking.
Right.
This
I would have been like,
guarantee.
what the fuck is this?
What is going
I
on?
could not have predicted this in a million years if this was not leaked. And it was leaked like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then it's happening at SGF. And it's like, okay. All right.
Yeah, well, it's state of play probably, and then it wasn't, and it's like, oh, it's definitely at SGF.
Yeah.
But then for them to open with it, I think that it's a great play. My biggest thing when we're talking about these gaming showcases is I love talking about the pacing. I love talking about the overall presentation of it. And this is one of those that I sort of wish, or I don't know if this was the case. I sort of wish Jeff did call the audible and make Civ 7 the first announcement and then put this one in the middle to be a get hype moment. Because that was somewhat unknown, even though that also got leaked.
I wouldn't have been hyped about it though.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like I don't know if I would have been hyped even if I had not known. I would have just been like, "What the fuck is this? Like, I can't believe this is a real
cool.
thing."
I'm happy for the people that play this.
Yeah.
But before we move on to the next game and everything, we are the co-op crew. We play PlayStation games. Like that's part of what we do.
Yeah.
I assume I'm reviewing this game because I'm excited. I love Lego games.
We should check it
and I
out
think that's
together.
about-
We should
you
just
think
do
you're
this
into?
together. Yeah,
okay.
probably. So if we get review codes for it, we'll for
Yeah,
sure
we'll
be all
run it
over
and
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Are you down? What do you want to be on that
We
review?
just need to find a way to handle that because it's only two player.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll probably play it single player and then let you two jabrone, or you would play it single player and then me and this jabrone
What?
would play it.
No, me and
It's
Brady.
the late night. Yeah, what are you two? I don't
Brady and I
care.
were a bunch of
Connor's too
chuckleheads.
busy beating.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth still. And
Yeah.
when did they say? What was the release date
It's
for this?
holiday. That's the other
Just
reason I was
holiday.
checking the blog. It's
Okay,
because
I mean,
sometimes
the-
they come out
the
with other
Flag
stuff.
Day.
The picture is coming together for PlayStation for this year. Like,
It's over. We
Yeah.
know what it is.
Right.
August, September, I would assume November. That's your fucking slate.
right.
And
Dude.
it's not great.
Game Awards reveals are gonna fucking be nuts.
Nuts.
Gonna be nuts,
Nuts.
because 2025 is like the year. It's
Death Stranding 2 release date, guarantee take it to the bank. That's Game Awards.
Yeah.
Unless, do we get a Sony showcase in September?
I hope so, man.
We're gonna get either a
hope
showcase
so.
or we're gonna get a state of play. You
Yeah.
assume so. That's gonna be
That'd be cool.
interesting.
Still, I'm just saying, like, if for everything in 2025 we have release dates and stuff and stuff to be revealed still, like that's going to be really good for Game Awards at the end of the year. So I really think, sorry to just talk more about like the presentation and everything. I really think with this being a down presentation, you have to relate SGF and Game Awards naturally. Like they're kind of like one and the same. Like I don't think this overarchingly destroys my perception of Jeff Keighley showcases at all.
No.
You know what
No.
I mean?
You're
Like
gonna have these. You can't just
exactly.
have bangers.
But that's the thing is like people are gonna lose their mind and be like SGF fucking sucks. It's like
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
it's not his fault. Like
it's the year of gaming. It is what
Right.
it is. Like
it's a down year. It's the year of layoffs and restructuring and figuring that all out. Best part of the entire presentation was his speech at the beginning. That was really good.
Dude,
It was really
I
good.
will say, like, it almost feels like, and this isn't a cop out or anything. He said what has finally needed to be said for so fucking long on stage.
Yeah.
People have been banging the drum saying, "Hey, dude, you are one of the largest faces in the industry. There is so few people that have the legitimate power that you do of getting eyes on your stage." And as the industry has just been riddled with layoff after layoff or just fucking terrible news after terrible news, I'm so thankful that, hey, let's use this platform in a year that really is just like, it almost feels like there's more bad news than good news.
Right.
And let's use this platform and acknowledge it and say, hey, let's show up in a showcase that is a bunch of games that don't really feel great. Let's showcase the single developer games. Let's showcase the indies. Let's showcase things that are a little bit less big budget. I mean, to not see an Xbox logo really at all. By the way, the Xbox logo, their representation was Party Animals.
Oh, interesting.
That's my mindset on it. That But like that's they're a partner, but they're not like
No.
super involved. But that's why that logo shows up on that screen and everything.
I will say that it does feel like a scapegoat, like to be like, okay, the industry's in like a tough place right now. Let me, so like now you know why the presentation is why the presentation is the way that it
Yeah.
is. Like, which is a fair thing to say. Like, I think
But
you have to say that.
I think
He's
that-
got to address it, though.
Right,
And he
exactly.
did it like a great job. Like if he just
Yes.
came out and said nothing about it, that would be
It almost feels
insane.
bad.
And
Yeah.
the fact that like he waited to do it here and now was probably the right thing to do.
But
And he handled it
also-
really well. He addressed the elephant.
The last time we saw Jeff was cutting a bunch of devs off way too early at the Game
Yeah.
Awards. So I also felt like he needed to say something more than ever, and I am thankful that he did. And we said at the start, we're all huge Jeff fans. Like we love his
Right.
shows, we love what he's done for the industry, so we're about it. Then there was that No More Room in Hell game that was the 8-player co-op, like just open world, whatever game. Hopped into Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. Some people in the chat were excited. None of us really were.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't really know
alright.
exactly know what the gameplay is, anyways. I didn't
it was
think
hard
they-
to tell.
Yeah, they
And then-
did a good job with that.
The game of the show, Cuff Bust, the crazy mouse prison
Game of the
break
show.
game. Are you fucking kidding me?
That shit was insane.
That's one of those situations though where I'm like, I see the trailer, I'm like, that's ridiculous and kind of funny, but
Oh,
this
yeah.
will probably be the entire impression that game leaves on me.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
never playing that
well,
game.
dude,
I'm happy
with-
it exists though, but like
with
I'm never
things
playing that.
Like content warning and stuff like that, I feel like this could be a fun PC stream. If we get less scheduled next year and have more time to stream and stuff like that, I feel like there's a chance we could like
Right.
get crazy and play that on a Thursday night or something.
Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws had a look, and it's just like I said
Looks more-
during the showcase. Ubisoft loves to show off the goodies way too soon. They love to go and release things. Would I be shocked if we get something that's Assassin's Creed Shadows at Xbox Sunday? Absolutely not. That would make sense for me.
No, I think they're still pushing this game because it's August. When does Shadows come out? November?
November.
Where like you have Outlaws, it's already been shown a few times. Show a little bit more here, and then you can show a little bit more at your own presentation. The big deep dive for Ubisoft needs to be Assassin's Creed Shadows, and
Yeah.
that's the big seller for their
I think
showcase.
that their showcase will get multiple deep dives to all their big titles.
Yeah, I can't wait for. I'm blanking on the name. Crap.
X-Divine?
No. What is the Splinter Cell? I can't wait for the new
Splinter
Splinter Cell
Cell,
game.
yeah.
I'm just calling a shot right now, just for fun.
Dude, honestly, that would suck so badly if we didn't react and there was a Splinter Cell
Yeah.
something.
That would be
Then up next we had Neva.
That looks so cute.
That looks
dude.
great.
I'm excited. I mean, we'd seen that once before, I believe, but that looks cute. It's gonna be a great little indie game, I think.
Yeah, I hope that game it delivers on what we just saw. Like
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
The gameplay looked like
The
awesome.
gameplay looked like when we saw just like the trailer the first time, and I think it was just like cinematic or
Kinda
like
cute-
it
cutesy,
was
yeah.
just like, oh yeah, that I love the art design, that looks cool. And then they showed that, and I was like,
fighting.
this looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, this looks like it could be like on a Hollow Knight level, like Metroidvania
Yeah,
type deal.
absolutely.
Like, and I'm about that.
The art style
like-
alone for me was the shining star of just like this game knows what it's trying to doing and it looks brilliant.
Yeah, the art style. I mean, it was kind of like Halo 2 and Halo 3 combined.
That is a video game donkey reference about Animal Wells
Animal
launch.
Well,
That was
baby.
really fucking funny. I did not expect that joke to come back in.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Next up, Civ 7. I think we said everything we
Cool.
want to about it.
What can they possibly add to? I feel like they're just adding a number at the end of it and just being like, yeah, there's more
I
Civ
didn't
now.
know there were fucking 6
Yeah,
more
it's like
of them, dude.
I don't even know the difference between 5 and 6. I'm sure that the Civ nerds can tell me about it, but like, man, there's just so many of them.
Helmet Nacho says, it's Rocket League in Quidditch form. I played the alpha a little bit, talking about the Quidditch game, I assume.
Interesting.
That sounds
Int-
difficult.
Interesting. I like
It's
as
still
someone
out,
that's
but
like,
interesting.
yeah, I don't know who's deving. Who's
I wonder how
developing
much
that?
it is.
Send me a code.
I wonder how much it'll be. Does
Yeah,
it
it's got to be like $20.
I think it should
20
be
bucks
free.
for
It should be
free.
free to
If
play.
it's free to play. I might
But
try
how
to
do
No,
you
buy
make
because
money?
it.
you
How do you
can't.
make
Yeah,
money?
what is there going to be cosmetics for that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You can get a new
Oh,
stick.
I'm
you can get a new
I'm unlocking
broom.
Harry Potter.
Helmet Nacho says it's kind of meh,
Yeah.
and so yeah, never mind.
I'm good on it.
But yeah, Civ 7, like I know that everyone in my group chat is freaking the fuck out
Yes,
about this and
yeah.
are very excited about it. And like that's just one of those gaming things that you sort of I think that Jeff pre-announcing it being a 2K game got everyone really excited, but it also makes sense that people were able to deduce. I'm gonna get really into the tin cap sort of mode and say that they leaked it on purpose. Just to let people know, hey, dude, it's Civ. Don't get too excited.
Yeah.
Lower your expectations.
People would have been mad. People would have been
Big
straight
two-
up
they should've
mad.
said
That
medium
is a
2K
good
drop.
point.
Yeah.
Because if they reveal Civ without there being some inkling of it being Civ, and everyone's like, it's fucking not Borderlands, it's not fucking Bioshock, because that's immediately disappointing for the people who are watching this.
Yeah,
for the
and
most
so
part.
all the people that are like crazy ass gamers, if you were on Twitter this morning, you saw someone say something about it.
Yeah.
It was on. I don't know if it's Kind of Funny Games Daily headline, but it was one of the first stories they told today.
Yeah.
Like it just got told in the scuttlebutt.
I hate leaks. I've been somebody Jacob, one of the other TikTokers who talks about games,
Yeah.
was talking about like the reveal trailer for God of War and like how special that was and how like amazing that felt. And we just don't get reveals like that nowadays. It's because of the leakers. Like,
Yeah.
and it's they are just doing their job. I don't really blame them, but like, man, there's just no surprises anymore. It feels like, and it's just the age of the internet where it's just like you just can't hide anything. Something is gonna get out, and someone's gonna say something, and it just sucks. Like it really does kind
Yeah.
of bum me out that we are where we are now.
I do want to shout out someone, Jeff Grubb, who knows certain things about the Xbox showcase, and he just is like, you know what, I'm shutting my mouth.
I appreciate
I'm
that,
shutting my mouth.
but he does say a lot of
No,
stuff.
no,
Like,
he
it's
says
like
a lot
it's-
of stuff because
yeah.
that's legitimately
His job. Yeah, I
is to
know.
report that stuff.
It just
but,
sucks.
but good on him for being like, I do know like some shit. I'm just not like, and obviously he reports a lot of stuff that gets corroborated by other people. That
Yeah.
so it's like might as well throw my name alongside things. And so, but shout out to him. I was listening to some of his predictions on Giant Bomb stuff, and I was like, good for you, because
Yeah.
I'm so fucking excited about this Xbox showcase. Thank you for not doing that.
Right.
Next up was Metaphor ReFantasia.
We're in. I'm in.
Like when we talk about
Game of the year.
what we're most looking forward to the most.
It might
at-
be.
Sold.
What we're looking forward to the most at the end of this year, if you were to go and ask what could,
What could be a contender?
not just a contender,
That will be nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
I
I
will
think-
You think so?
stake
Yeah.
my life on it.
stop saying shit like that.
Why
but
can't I say
yeah,
that?
'cause
I'll
it-
eat a shoe.
Yeah, because it means nothing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. That's why it's
complete
hard to
hyperbole.
say. Yeah,
Did
it
you
is
say his,
hyperbole.
did you say his life means nothing?
No,
That's pretty
no,
much what
I
he
love
just
you.
said.
I love you.
So
Connor.
yeah, I would like. It's a Persona game,
Yeah.
and Persona 5 got nominated alongside all the alongside Zelda and Mario and Horizon. What else was that year? Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that
Whatever.
we're
Yeah.
talking about that level of game.
We're
Yeah,
reminiscing.
I completely agree. I think that this is going to be unfucking believable.
Yeah.
It's one of the most hype games for the rest of this year. This was my first pick in our Fantasy Critics draft. I think that legitimately it is going to be one of the games that can knock off FF7 Rebirth for Game of the Year at this point, which
Right.
I currently believe is the front runner.
I think it's the front runner right now. I do not think it will win. I think
Uh,
Astrobot has a chance. I think Metaphor has a chance.
I also think Black Myth Wukong has a
Black
chance,
Myth
but we will
Wukong.
talk about that in a moment.
True.
For right now, we're talking about Batman Arkham Shadows, just a CG trailer.
Why even bother, dude?
It,
you know?
it being in the Arkhamverse makes it inherently exciting. It being VR makes it inherently
No,
not exciting.
no, it could be exciting. I'm saying, why show this CG trailer?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
show the CG trailer. That's fine. It was a good trailer.
show some fucking
Then show
gameplay.
some fucking gameplay. Like they've already shown a CG trailer. It's like, oh, all right, now I know a little bit more of the tone of the game. I understand why there were so many rats in their reveal trailer.
So this is where the show nosedived, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I
Where
agree.
like even Batman VR, I was like, I'm not gonna play it. I'm not that excited about it, but that's still interesting.
Right.
That's still captivating. Then we got Tears of Metal, which was the Scottish hack and slash that didn't like go and make us go crazy or anything. Delta Force Hawk Ops,
Could be
all
good.
right.
Could be good.
Fatal Fury City Wolves. Connor commented on one of the characters.
Game of the show, baby. Let's go.
Blumhouse? I don't even
yeah,
know
the
what
Blumhouse sizzle reel. I genuinely think that this was the moment I was like, oh fuck.
Why
dude.
did they do that like that? Like there was so many cool games in there.
Yep.
Pick one or two of those and show it off.
Yep.
Like this could have been really cool and interesting, but they just were like, okay.
We didn't need them to come out on stage, and I know Jeff loves putting people on stage. They didn't need to come out on stage and talk. You could have deep dived 2 minutes for 2 games each, and been like, "This is why these games are important." The name on the wall doesn't fucking do anything. If the games aren't good, show us the games.
And all the games looked good. It was just so fast.
Yeah.
Like how can I? Okay, by the time I was excited for the first one and the last one was being shown, I forgot about the first one. It's just
Totally.
like, okay.
I could not tell you a single name, and I couldn't tell you a single
yeah.
game
Right.
style. I just knew that they looked interesting and
Exactly.
had cool art styles. All right, moving on. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Game of
Rita's Rewind. Fuck
looked
yeah,
cool.
Game of the
That looked really
showcase,
cool.
Fuck
dude.
yeah.
Game of the
I'm not
show-
even a Power Rangers fan, and that looked fucking
We're
awesome.
definitely playing that on
I was
Monday.
Yeah.
I was about to say this is one of those that like this isn't at SGF or anything. I wish this was fucking at SGF. I wish that we could
don't
play
know
this
that.
right now. Yeah, that's true. We don't know if it's there as of right now, but that would be like I want to play that fucking today. I want to get after that now. And when I was like it should be a shadow drop, I was very upset that it
Right.
wasn't because I just want to fucking play it. All right, moving on. We had Deer and Boy, Connor's game of the show.
This looked fucking awesome, and I do what Jeff said really did resonate with me there. I was like, this looked great. It looked emotional. It looked like it had a really cool art style. It reminded me a little bit of like Inside, like
Yeah.
where it's like you have that kind of like horror, like hiding aspect to it, and like just kind of like getting by or whatever, and just really stressful, visceral, emotional gameplay. I know that you're just like probably just walking through this, but like hiding and having your heart races as something is following you and protecting this little deer. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, man. I'm all in.
And I love that you said it and shouted out, hey, if there's
Go
something you
wishlist
want to
it.
go
Yeah.
and like really champion, fucking wishlist it. It's insane what wishlisting can do to a game. It really fucking
Yeah.
is. So hop on Steam if
What was
you
it called
enjoyed
again?
any of the games. Deer and Boy.
Deer and Boy.
If you enjoyed any of that,
A Boy
rock
and
and
His
roll.
Blob sequel, Deer and Boy.
All right. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks
I'm excited
cool.
for people who are excited
Yeah.
about it. It looked really great. It
One of-
really did.
One of those games that if it gets enough amazing reviews, maybe I'll give it a shot one day. But
Right.
it doesn't seem like it's up our alley. Connor's favorite name to any game ever.
Slitterhead! Boom! Where are my Slitterheads at? Let's go!
So wild.
It was
Whose
so-
idea? Who was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Gameplay looked not great.
No.
Didn't look super interesting.
Confusing.
It's made by the
Confusing.
guy who made Silent Hill, though.
I know. Well,
That's the only thing it has going for
that's
it.
the hard part where it's like, I can admit this. I've had a lot of great ideas in my life. Doesn't mean all my ideas are great though. Let's be
Right.
real. And so like it might just be a miss, and that's okay. Then
I
we
mean,
had-
I think that the idea and the tone really wasn't that bad. It's just not coming together. You know what I mean?
By the way, we actually just are going to go game by game, but we're just going to skip over all the ones that aren't interesting like we've done thus far. Next up was Karen, the rock climbing game. Brady?
You're in.
No, I'm not
We're
gonna
forcing you to play it.
I'm almost definitely not gonna play it.
Brady's a
Yep.
fake climbing fan. is
I'm
what
a
I'm
cli-
hearing.
I-
Dude, it doesn't
I'm not,
even know
I'm
how
a
to.
climbing fan. I'm just not a climbing video.
He
game
doesn't even
fan.
know how to lead climb. He's been lying this whole time.
climbing fan.
I'll stick with
biggest-
Celeste, dude.
Can you dino, Brady? Is that what it's called?
That's a
Biggest-
thing. That's lingo.
I know terms.
That's lingo.
Biggest Deer and Boy fan, and then best game Red Co-op 64. All right. Then we had Wander Stop, which was the coffee game that like had that extra twist that we didn't get to see. On Unknown 9 Awakening, this was published by Bandai Namco, which I was like, I was wondering when Bandai was going to show up because they were on the partner list. I was expecting an Elden Ring trailer of some sort.
Yeah, me too.
And the fact that we didn't get it was kind of
I
wild.
think we're just too late. at
Yep.
this point.
Antoria last song was just like we didn't really like lose our mind for. The first Descendant had a good showing, but it was like where's the gameplay as always. The Outer Sloth games looked interesting, especially the last one with the Thirsty Suitors devs. I was super about that. I was like, this looks Dave the Diver-esque, but like different enough that it's completely its own bag.
I think this is such a cool pay it forward initiative for them
is.
to be
The
doing
idea is
this.
cool.
Like a lot of these indie devs like have such great ideas. It's just a matter of funding and like kind of getting pushed forward and having somebody who like has a platform to be like, okay, we're gonna show you off here. And like for Among Us, which like say what you want about it, like and where the state of it right now, like it was massive and they had that like blow up all of a sudden. Like that's a crazy story for that to happen, and they're just like, all right, let's just do it for other people maybe. And I think
Hopefully
that's cool.
it pays off.
Yeah.
Totally. All right, next up we had Dune Awakening, which was another
trailer.
awesome showing of this game. I need gameplay in my life at this point, but it looks cool.
Right.
Then there was the RTS Everyone game. I think there's not even a title on this.
A lot going on.
But it's a lot going on, not for us really. The final season 3. Connor, are you gonna finally fucking pick up a controller? and
I
play?
don't know, man. If somebody
Controller.
like asks me to play, are you playing that game with a controller?
No, I was playing mouse and controller.
Okay, I was gonna say what?
Maybe I'll give it a go, but that was the most my interest has been piqued so far. So
If we're talking about games that we're actually going to play and get super into, this is probably my game of the show. Alan Wake 2 Night Springs DLC.
looks fucking awesome.
Fucking
Yeah, it looks great.
awesome. Brady, when are you going to play Alan Wake 2?
when they come out with a Lego version.
No joke. I think that I will spend my own money and get the physical copy of this game because I want to support Remedy every fucking chance
I'll
I
play
get.
it.
Still haven't
and
made
I'll
their
give it to you.
Still haven't made their money back on
I know.
Alan Wake 2. Such a bummer, dude.
unbelievable.
When you make such a good looking game.
And then
$50 million to make that game.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
I don't, yeah,
Spider-Man cost $400 million.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
The fact that they can make a game look that good for that amount of money makes no sense. And
Yeah.
it leads me to be like, there's no excuse for these studios to be this bloated and their budgets to be that massive. It makes no sense.
Next up, we had one of the most exciting, wild, weird announcements I've ever seen on a screen where Tim Robinson rolls out
That was my favorite.
and it
part.
is fucking Skate.
That was such a good.
What?
That was so weird. dude.
Brady, as our resident comedy fan, how did that make you feel?
That was a great. I mean, it was a great little crossover. I mean, I was so when he popped up on screen, I was like, did not expect this. Today.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Not on my bingo card.
yeah.
But welcome.
Yeah.
He did a
great.
good
I
job.
mean, yeah,
That
he
was
did.
a funny little bit.
He
Like,
did his thing.
but it's one of those situations I see Tim Robinson and I start laughing. Like,
right.
he
Just
did-
his character, his cadence
Yeah.
is just so fucking good. Dude.
As someone that normally does not like his style of comedy, I was rolling. That was
Yeah.
so fucking
Yeah.
funny.
That
I
was
loved
good
it.
stuff.
And also, Skate just showing up. Hey, it's gonna be pick up and play, shred with your friends. I'm so about it. I want it in my life so badly at this point, and it just doesn't seem like we're gonna get it for a while. The fact that they came out and said still working on it, it was just like
it's really a bummer that it's taking as long as it is, but make it right, make it good. I want to play it though. I've never been into the Skate series. I was a Tony Hawk kid. I feel like by the time Skate was like kind of picking up steam, I was already lapsed on Tony Hawk, and I was like, I'm not playing another skateboarding game. I'm already done with Tony Hawk. But the people who love Skate 3 are like crazy about it.
So. I just want to throw this out there though. There were some decent announcements, but nothing was like even Alan Wake 2, a game that I love so much, was just like it's just DLC. It's not the next
Right.
iteration. It's not even the Lighthouse, like you said, where it's
The
like gonna
Lighthouse
be a
will
big
be, yeah.
fucking new story content. This is just gonna be little tie-in one-offs.
I feel like every developer nowadays is doing this 2 DLC format where the first one is the tease,
Yep.
like the little taste. Final Fantasy
Gameplay
16.
again, yep.
Final Fantasy 16 is a perfect example, and the second one is like the big blowout or
Totally.
whatever. And then like I'm okay with that, but it isn't interesting.
It does keep you back in the game though after
Right.
a certain point. The issue is it too late
It-
already?
It already is, and
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Like I'm stoked for so many DLCs. I think they all look so amazing, like the Final Fantasy 16 one. Then what was the other one recently? Fuck, I'm blanking. But either way, I don't know if I'm gonna come back for that.
I was about to say the hard part is with our job nowadays. It's like, am I stoked on this? Yeah, it comes out tomorrow and everything. Oh my gosh! But also, we fly out tomorrow and then we're back and then
Right.
we're back into the swing of things of gaming and doing other
So
stuff.
when does the next one come out? November?
I would assume the next one is. I don't believe we have a time frame for it. I would assume it's October. And they try to
Do we review
record
that?
again.
That might be a good excuse for me to do this.
To do the Lighthouse?
No, Night Springs.
I mean,
I could do a review for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
I mean, yeah. There's some scheduling stuff that's going to be interesting.
I gotta finish. I'm almost done with Rebirth. I'm one challenge away.
But you're not. You have other stuff you have to do to platinum it. Still,
the
right?
other stuff I have to do is literally like an hour worth
Oh,
of
okay.
stuff. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, and then we got a expansion to Pal World.
Great.
Cool. Valorant.
Game of the show, baby! Woo!
Console. Nick's gonna be good.
Don't
at
play this game on console, please. But
Yeah.
if you have a PC, but if you do have a console, it's a great game. I think it's cool that other people are gonna get to play this.
I'm going to unironically play the fuck out of this on console.
I don't blame you.
Dude, I like console.
It's been
it's
so
gonna
long and you
feel
haven't gotten good. You gotta
awful.
get good.
No,
sometime.
dude. Why do you think it's gonna feel awful? Do you think just because?
Because I played Counter Strike Go on console.
So did
And
I,
it feels
and I loved
feel
it.
not nearly as smooth at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. It's not going to feel as smooth, but at the same time, this is a 5v5 arena shooter that we can go and have great fun with. And play
Definitely
Search and
not
Destroy.
an arena shooter.
Not arena. What am I?
I don't
looking
even know.
for? Competitive,
Tactical.
tactical shooter is
Yeah.
what I was looking for. But no, I mean, you do play in arenas, Connor. Anyways,
I mean, technically, every game is in an arena.
that's a good point. By the way, what a phone case, dude! I love my new phone case. I'm very excited about it. Do you know it's
Yeah.
called Zombies?
You've shown
I'm well aware.
everybody
Chad, you got a new
multiple
phone case.
times.
New World Eternum had a showing. Amazon's new MMO.
Couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less. Next up, last two things: Monster Hunter
We're
Wilds.
already the last two things.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
A lot of that was just filler, just like.
But there was a lot of things that I listed off and I'm like, don't care, we moved
Yeah.
on. Don't care, we moved on. The issue was, actually, well, in a moment, Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay looks dope.
I'm sold. I'm
was
in.
sold, still sold.
I don't want to see this game ever again until it's in
Right.
my hands. Like, this game better be coming out early next year.
Unless you're
Yeah.
telling me like better aspects of the game, like I don't want to see another.
Because for the
gameplay
most part, like
trailer.
I don't. Oh, sorry to interrupt you. I didn't mean
Oh,
to.
you're
I
good.
totally just talked over you. I don't have a frame of reference for what's new. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing it, I'm like, this looks really cool.
Right.
But I don't know what's
Still.
new here from World because I haven't really gotten into that game. So like I'm sure there's exciting aspects to this. But like people who are fans are like, oh, I saw somebody say, oh, you can like carry two weapons around now, like two different
Yeah.
classes and like change on the fly, maybe. And that's just off of a comment. I don't know if that's true or not. But I was like, okay, that's cool for them who like
Yeah,
can notice
who
that.
fucking knows.
But I see it and I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. But it looked sick, man. I mean, like I'm stoked for it.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I'm jazzed. This is going to be fucking awesome next year. My biggest worry with this game is all you gotta do is just come out before GTA 6. Every game next
really
year,
do.
every game next year, I'm
There's
like, just
no way.
come out
I
before
don't- yeah.
GTA 6. What do you mean?
This is coming out in April, I would imagine.
This is coming. I think later. Than
February.
April.
I think
Really?
Monster Hunter.
June.
Yeah.
I think June next
Yeah.
year.
No, then what's their early year game? Is it Resident Evil? And when are we gonna see that?
I don't think that they had what Capcom had three things here with the Street Fighter news and everything and like other stuff. I'm concerned. I'm just gonna say I'm concerned that it's not gonna be as soon as we think. I think Gamescom, it's gonna be really interesting. Do we get a date at Gamescom?
I would imagine. And if they're gonna announce a date then it's early.
Then it's early.
2025.
But I don't think we get a date at Gamescom.
they need a game during this fiscal year. That's the game.
Do they need?
Yes, they're a business. They want a game during
I know,
a
but
major
they-
game during
but
each
then I
fiscal
think
year.
that
They
they-
had Dragon's Dogma. The fiscal year ended. They have nothing major this year for the calendar
So
year
you're saying
2024.
March or
after
earlier
that.
then?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
That-
I just said April. So, but yes, around then.
All right, and then we closed out with Phantom Blade Zero.
Looks fucking sick.
Fucking look at this game. I like if you're talking about a game that it's interesting. It's a weird dichotomy because you are like, it's the last game of the show. It needs to be hype as fuck. It needs to be something new. It needs to be some bullshit CGI trailer, or we can get a game that will come out. I would assume in the next year. Like that just makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna see it in the next year. Let's show off baller fucking ass gameplay for
Right.
it. Let's really swing into this. There's a couple things missing on this list that I just realized we didn't talk about Blacksmith. But it looks awesome. It presented well. The combat looked batshit insane when it came to, oh, I know exactly how that's gonna play. And it looked tight.
It looks clean.
Looks super clean. You know how that parry's gonna roll. You know how that triangle button smash roll is gonna be for the quick time event. The enemy variety was solid enough for me. That was exciting. I was super about all this. I was very, very into most of it. I really, really think that they came out swinging and they did a fucking really good job.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we had already seen gameplay the first time we saw this. It was just more cinematic. That looked very much in-engine, polished. That they're closer. And the fact that they're like, okay, we're gonna go on a media tour and people are gonna get to play this, get hands-on with it, and talk about it. Like, I'm in. Like, I think that is confidence boosting for
Yeah.
me about how that game actually fucking plays. So
If they want a ton of people to fucking play it before it comes out, compared to we see it all the time in the industry where it kind of seems like devs are hiding their game and shit
Right.
like that, especially a game like this that is so gameplay dependent. 100% confidence.
has somebody went hands-on with Black Myth?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. That's kind of how I feel about this whole situation. I'm still skeptical, like I was
Yeah.
of Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin and Black Myth Wukong. I'm still skeptical of Phantom Blade
Blade.
Zero. But why are people completely sold on
Black
Black
Myth.
Myth? They're all in. They're like, this is going to be game of the year. This like has the potential to
Yeah.
blow people away. Why are people like not fucking all over Phantom Blade Zero? I feel
Yeah.
like it deserves the same treatment. I think they both look fucking awesome.
Yeah, I
Like-
completely agree. And my whole thing is, one game is oozing confidence right now by saying, hey, we're going to do a world tour of demos. And
Right.
the other one is, hey, we're coming out in August and no one's played this game yet.
Right.
Like that, it's what? We're 2 months away and no one's touched it yet? In which, like, it's totally fine. That happens for a lot of games and everything, and not everything gets the demo treatment and dev treatment or whatever. But it is one of the things of, I would much rather believe the game that people are going to get hands on with compared to something that is, hey, we're just going to go and release it. And I'm as someone that we get review codes every now and then for certain things. Do we want codes for Black Myth? 100%. Will we get them? We don't know. But I am very curious to see what the review embargo date is for Black Myth Wukong. Just because, what if it's
Right.
a day away? What I would love to see. Nothing would make me happier than Black Myth Wukong. 1 week of review, awesome hype build up, and
Right.
then rock and roll. That would be sick as fuck. Fatal Flame, the Fatal Fury game looks cool. Yeah, that looked all right. Connor really enjoyed a piece of that. Black Myth, I mean, just had
Who
another.
didn't? Who didn't enjoy a piece
Black
of that?
Myth just had another cool showing. We didn't really dive deep on that, but that was like
That looks great.
a good little like, hey, it's coming out.
I love how
Give me
like
sick.
massive that game feels in scope just from
Yeah.
that trailer, but from everything else I've seen from the gameplay, I'm like, this shit game looks fucking big and it
Awesome.
looks gorgeous and it looks fun as fuck. So
Yeah, I think that once again we're really filling out what this year is at this point, and I don't expect Xbox's showcase to add too many. I think we know every single thing that is coming out from Xbox this year. It is Call of Duty. It is Avowed. It is Indiana Jones. That is it
Right.
at most. You're a big believer that Avowed's going to get pushed.
there's no way. And I think there could be there's rumors of a shadow drop at Xbox.
That is
So
true.
like if that also kind of lines up, like I want to keep reiterating this. We know this is a down year. This is not 2014. This is not
Yeah.
nearly as
No,
bad as 2014. This year is a good down year. Like
This
we've
is
had
like-
way worse years.
I think that this is 2015, 2016-esque, where
Yeah.
there's a couple bangers that we're going to all pull out of it and be like,
Right.
fuck yeah.
like
And
if Astro's like a 9,
dude, let me break this down for you, Connor. Rebirth, Astros, a Machine Games Indiana Jones.
Stellar Blade.
I was going to follow it up with Metaphor.
Metaphor,
Like,
Stellar Blade,
Metaphor can
Black
be...
Myth Wukong,
like
Animal
this-
Well.
Belatro, the indie scene's
Belatro.
been fucking popping
Yeah.
off this year.
That was a cool way to start it with like showing like the top 10 games on Steam and like all of them being like
All of
not
them
like
are about that,
major
yeah. Yep.
like fucking things. Other like even Helldivers 2 like being like a breakout success. I know that's like a second party PlayStation game, but it's still like it's fucking Helldivers.
Yeah,
Nobody knew what
right.
Helldivers was before this.
Yeah, 100%. I think that
I
it's
knew what Helldivers
super exciting. I knew what it was because Greg Miller wouldn't shut up about
Yeah,
it. He
dude.
was banging the drum for it. It was awesome. But to close this out and everything, I have no idea how long we've been going for. Oh, like 40-ish minutes.
Yeah.
This has been a absolute pleasure to go and react with you boys, and it's going to be a hell of a weekend. To close this out, I do want to discuss the pacing of this show. Bad.
Yeah.
Horribly paced. And it
How
really,
do you fix that though?
I think that you gotta.
With what they had.
I know. I'm
I-
trying to.
yeah.
I think you throw even a. Do Outlaws first. Do Black Myths showing first. Go and put Horizon closer to the end of the showcase to have a
the
good
middle.
1, 2, 3 punch at the end.
Here's this is tinfoil hat, just perspective. Like I'm just basing this off of what I can see and what I would assume. The first 20 minutes of the showcase needs to be where most people drop off. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like after the first 20 minutes. So people are like, we want our stuff in the first 20 minutes and we're going to pay for it. And that's why you get stuff like Hogwarts, the Quidditch game.
Yep.
That's why you get the PlayStation game in the beginning and like all the good stuff right at the start or whatever. And then you have like your last two. Those are your last stuff. That's another solid slot. Everything in the middle, they probably know like that's where everybody fucking just tanks in
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
viewership.
I mean, you
so
called
like,
it,
yeah.
I always say, and this is just as someone that has watched all these fucking Jeff shows, including I watched Gamescom. I watched the last 4 fucking Gamescoms.
Right.
Like I know how these shows run, and the expectation always needs to be way lower. Especially Jeff comes out, and I'm not gonna lie, Jeff saying it's an 8 out of 10 show. I don't necessarily know if he thinks he's fully lying because there's a lot of good shit there. We had a lot of fun conversation about a lot of cool games.
I think when you put it on paper on like the individual games, you could argue a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
But it's the issue with pacing and like the actual show that
Totally.
like changes the entire perspective. But if you listed all those games, like there's some good shit in there. Like
Yeah.
there's some stuff that I'm excited about.
If you're looking at just this showcase, you could argue like 6 out of 10, maybe even 7 out of 10. But from comparison, like other showcases,
Oh,
you're like,
right.
Oh,
this
true.
is like not.
Well,
it.
I will say I'm on the Jeff scale. Like I'm basing my 3.5 on the Jeff scale. Last year's Summer Game Fest, I would give a 9 out of 10. Like just so well paced. What's up?
Nick graduated with a PhD in Jeff Keighley. That's all, like, Nick knows Jeff like the back of his hand.
Connor knew when I like started doing video game content, like showcase content was like my favorite thing to talk about and everything. So I do understand these showcases well, and I've learned and tried my best to get a PhD in Jeff. He's had bad showcases before. He's had really good showcases. And all you got to remember is you have to take the good with the bad. There's not, we're never going to get to a place where Jeff just has the goods every year because the industry is never going to have the goods every year. I think that next year we look at what this showcase could be. New Nintendo Switch hardware. Let's throw in a Nintendo exclusive that's coming out in the fall. We look at just the landscape of the third parties. Like you said, Capcom with RE and Monster Hunter and all these awesome shit. Like PlayStation's going to be back and reloaded, where we could get, if they do a PlayStation showcase, we could get Ghost gameplay or something along those lines if it works out well. I don't know what it's going to be next year. I would bet everything I got in front of me, so an iPhone and a glass, everything I got, that next year is leaps and bounds better.
Yeah.
Just because I think the industry's going to be way better.
3 out of 10, we fucking hope so.
I do.
Oh, for the showcase or just like for all the games?
I was going to say for Jeff's show.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Because I think that it's going to be not a 3 out of 5 showcase. I think that 3.5, and like, guys, I love rooting for this stuff, and I was at a certain point, I was like, this is like a 5 out of 10, like a 6 out of 10 early on, and then all of a sudden I was like,
Snooze fest.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
fuck.
you're just in the dog days. Does it mean we didn't have a great time hanging out and talking games? Oh fuck yeah, this was awesome to just hang out and
Yeah, it
and
went
shoot
by
the breeze.
quick.
But it definitely is a little bit of a bummer to just go and be like, like where's the one more thing? I said this during my perfect showcase rant that I had on the latest casual gaming conversation. Just like, you need a middle, you need a beginning, you need an end, and they had a somewhat of a beginning.
And they had somewhat of an end.
They had somewhat of an end, and then you had Civ. But like
And
all
then you
those
had
things,
Civ.
but like when I say that,
Sounds
like
so sad.
on the
Nick,
other,
we had Slitterhead in the
I
middle.
know.
You're forgetting about that.
But when I talk about the Xbox showcase that's coming up, I am on the level of, okay, we're gonna open with Gears. That's a fucking opening. We're gonna end with Doom. That's a fucking end. We're gonna have in the middle perfect fucking dark. Like that's what I'm like, holy shit.
yeah.
That's how you do a showcase
Right.
probably. And now we're just in the other side of just like, all right, you're telling me that any of these games remotely compete with any of those 3 titles that I just said?
Right.
No, not even close. There was not anything on the level of let's fucking go. They did a great job of showing Phantom Blade to try to get it to a like really solid spot and it come out with that confidence that I was talking about. But other than that,
yeah.
jeez, what a snooze fest of a lineup. We had nothing that was really a moment. There were like Monster Hunter, fucking awesome. We saw it last week.
I know. Why was that there last week? Like, why did they need to
They
double
should've
up on
saved
that?
it.
But
They should've saved
it's
it.
That would have been way
Monster-
cooler
I-
at
it
one or
would've
the
been-
other. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
but I think that Jeff has his deals, and I think that Capcom has his their deals with Sony, and this is all marketing at the end of the day. I just think that this was very rough marketing. I think
Right.
that this is a rough showcase. I went in with 6 out of 10 expectations because I just was like, Jeff said 8 out of 10, I'm knocking 2 points. And I think that there's a world where you can take this as a 6 out of 10, or give it a C, or even a D if you want to go grading scale. This was a bad showing, and sometimes it's okay to say it's bad because we know Jeff can do really fucking good.
Right.
I would love to meet Jeff and be like, hey man, Game Awards, dude, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
8 out of
It's-
10, Jeff. I love you.
and, like it's going I have a PhD in Jeff, all right? Like it's I think that Game Awards is gonna be really impressive, and I think that this showcase was a showing of why the industry is just all right this year. But Metaphor, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with Metaphor? It's gonna
Right.
be great. It's
Oh
gonna be
my
awesome.
God. I can't wait.
All right. Last notes before we roll out. This will go up on YouTube. So if you-
Immediately,
yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
up right after we finish up here. So if you missed any of this content, all of our reactions are up on YouTube. And if you like this content, please, we will be back on Sunday, hanging out, breaking down what is happening in front of our eyes, potentially the best showcase of the summer, most likely the best showcase of the
Yeah.
summer because it's just been a weak year thus far.
Yeah.
I think that Xbox is really going to bring it. We will be here at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, rocking out with you guys on Twitch using Connor's laptop. Let's see if that thing can make it through 2 hours of showcase madness.
It's gonna
Might
make
burn
it.
down an apartment.
Oh man, that poor Airbnb is just gonna be a sauna by the heat that's coming off of Connor's
Yeah,
computer.
you could hear it taking off when we were testing it.
But it worked.
God,
We got a webcam to work with it. We got the
the
mics to work
soundboard
with
and
it.
everything.
I
Yeah.
forgot that we have to literally start packing the sound stuff too
Yep.
tonight. And everything.
We have our freaking suitcase that like looks like it's out of like a heist movie or something.
Yeah. Connor, you want to know something crazy? We're awake in 11, or we're gonna be.
4 a.m.
Sorry, we're awake in like 8 hours or 9 hours, and then we are boarding a flight in 11 hours.
We'll just be
We gotta
in.
pack. I gotta pack.
Yeah, I know. I got to pack and everything. This is very exciting, guys. And once again, we talked about it last week, but this is only possible because of you guys. It's really a dream come true that you guys are allowing us to be able to do this and make content for you guys and talk about the thing that we love, which is video games. So even though we have our downs with showcases like this, it's still fun to be able to chat and talk with you guys and go on this ride with you. So thank you guys so much.
All right, and you will also. This is going for mainly the YouTube audience. There will be a nice little vlog of SGF. We will do it. I'm going to force the boys to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time. Honestly, the vlog will start right when this podcast ends. So if you want that content, please get excited. That will be a fun editing project for yours truly as the weekend goes along. Holy shit, we're going to play a lot of games, and we will be back on Sunday. We salute you.